So I am going to start unit number 2 in software engineering. Now the new topic is the data flow diagram, and the abbreviation for this is DFD. So far you have studied in database management system. Even I am not aware by this whether you have studied or not about the data flow diagram in database management system. But in software engineering, in the context of the software engineering, I am going to define what is the DFD. So a data flow diagram, DFD, is a traditional visual representation of the information flows within a system. So here we can see whenever we are going to design or implement any software or the flow chart, or we are going to draw the flow chart on the behalf of the algorithm, then how we are going to manage that project and how we will represent in the form of few symbols. This is called the visual representation of the information, how the information will flow from one state to another, and how we are going to divide into number of procedures or number of processes. So a data flow diagram is a traditional visual representation of the information flows within a system. So a neat and clear DFD can depict the right amount of the system requirement graphically. So it shows how data enters and leaves the system because it has the interface with the IO device, that is the input and output. Whenever we will design any project, then we concentrate on the input and what type of output we will get. So it shows how data enters and leaves the system. So what changed the information and where data is stored. Now we can check here how the information will alter and also where we are going to store the data. So main thing is the change in the information and the data storage. Now there are few here we can say the symbols we will use. So first is the data flow. Now you can see here in the curve form, the first symbol here, this is a form of curve here. So this is called the data flow. Okay, so this represents the data flow used to connect processes to each other, to sources or sinks. Okay, so here, because we are not going to draw the DFD for a particular project, but first we will break into number of processes or the functions or the procedures, then how the different processes, they have the interconnectivity to each other. Okay, so whenever it is connected, the several processes are connected in the form of this curve, and this curve will show the flow of data from one process to another. Okay, so any project may have a number of processes or procedures or functions. So how they are interconnected to each other, then we can say the flow of data from one process to another, and after that finally we can say the final data or the final output. Okay, so the head indicates the direction of data flow. Now in the circle form, another symbol here you can see. So in the form of the circle, this is called the process. It indicates or represents the process. So perform some transformation, okay, of input data to yield output data. because the transformation will take place inside this. Whenever the process will run here, your program will run, that is called the process, then it will depend on the input data, and as a result or as per specification, it will yield the output data. Okay, so this in the circle form here you can see the another symbol that is called the process. So in the curve form here you can see it indicates the data flow from one process to another, and the circle form here another symbol, this is called the process. Okay, and this indicates the transformation of input and output data. Now here you can see this, the third symbol, source of sink, external entity. Here is source of system input or sink of system output. Okay, here just we are giving input and getting the output. What is going inside, the user is not aware by this. Okay, so this is the source or sink. Okay, so a source of system input or sink of system output. So here we will get input and outputs. And now in this case you can see another new symbol here, this data store. So where we are going to store the data. So a repository of data, the arrowheads indicate the net inputs and net outputs to store. So from where we are getting the input and where we are going to store this output, because finally we will store the output and we will provide the input to get the output. So we will store both the things, input as well as output. So we can represent, this is the special symbols. So with the help of these symbols, we can draw the DFD, that is called the data flow diagram. Okay, so data flow diagram we can draw for a electric circuit or for any management system or whatever you are going to implement the project. Okay, suppose you are building any new software, implementing any new software, then first we will draw the flow chart, that is the another thing, and with the help of that flow chart we can also take help and draw the data flow diagram. So with the help of the flow chart and the algorithm, and at the midway we can draw the DFD, data flow diagram. So whenever we have the set of input and outputs and we are already aware or implement the software or the project, then we can draw the data flow diagram, and this will also indicate that how the input and output will take place. So these are the special symbols for data flow diagram. Now the circle here, again this is the representation for different type of symbols. A circle, this is also called the bubble. Okay, shows a process that transforms data inputs into data outputs. So circle here shows a process. Okay, so we can indicate here the process by a circle, and it shows or it indicates the transforms of data. Okay, inputs and output. Data flow, a curved line, you have already seen in the preceding slide. A curved line shows the flow of data into or out of a process or data store. So curved line will indicate the data flow. Data store, here we can see a number of sets, a set of parallel lines. Okay, shows a place for the collection of data items. A data store indicates the data is stored which can be used at a later stage or by other processes in different order. So a data store means it is up to the user. He can retrieve as per the requirement. Okay, he can store the data and can used as input or output. So ultimately, we will save this data to the secondary storage. Source or sink. Source or sink is an external entity and acts as a source of system inputs or sync of system outputs. So in the preceding slide, you have already seen it is in the rectangular form, source or sink. Okay, inputs or outputs. Now there are number of labels we will use whenever we are going to draw the data flow diagram. So there are labels as 0, 1, 2 or beyond. Okay, 0, it is indicating that this is the basic label DFD, that is the data flow diagram. Means we may have a number of inputs but only one output. Okay, so the DFD may be used to perform a system or software at any level of abstraction. In fact, DFDs may be partitioned into labels. So there are a number of labels for the DFD. Zero label, it is called the zero label DFD, or level 1 DFD, level 2 DFD, or beyond. Okay, level 3 and so on. But as we will proceed, the according to the level, then the complexity will enhance. Okay, so at zero level, we can say that it is very basic labeled DFD, that is the data flow diagram, and it may have number of inputs, maybe one or two, but only single output. Okay, now we can see a number of example for the level 0 and level 1, level 2, so that you can differentiate the among the different level of DFDs. Here you can see this is called the zero level DFD. Now here you can see this is indicating here X1, X2. Okay, so this is called the inputs X1 and X2. These are two inputs and it is going to this process. Circle is indicating here a process, and just we are showing this is process A. Okay, and here we have only one output representing here as y. Okay, it is represented as y here. This is a normal nomenclature which is adopted by the user. It is up to you. So x1, x2, here a process, then this is the output y. Okay, so this is called the level 0 DFD or zero level or level 0 DFD. So here we have more than one input but only single output. So as per diagram or as per level, you can say it is the basic DFD. Okay, basic data flow diagram. Now it is also known as fundamental system model. This is also called the basic or the fundamental system model or context diagram. So there are number of, here nomenclature will be used. You can also call it is context diagram. Okay, DFD, data flow diagram, context diagram, and this is the fundamental system model, level 0. So here you can see the entire software requirement as a single bubble means single process. Okay, now you can see here only a one process, single process, even though you have more than one input, but only single output and single process because you have only one circle. So zero level DFD model. Here is DFDM means data flow diagram model. This is the zero level DFDM, or simply it is called the data flow diagram DFD. Okay. Now here you can see software requirement as a single bubble with input and output data denoted by incoming and outgoing arrows. Okay, here you can see incoming arrows, it is going toward the process, and outgoing means you are getting single output. Now here you can save your output data as per your choice on any storage. Now you can see here, this is one of the diagram. Now this, suppose this is one of the project which is implemented by you, student result management. Okay, means your own project which is developed by any group. Here you can see. So how will you first draw the DFD data flow diagram? Means just this is the elaboration for your software or the project. Now as per the flow chart or the algorithm, you can draw the DFD, but here you are you have only one process, that is this is the name for your project, student result management. Okay, now just you can see here dividing student info entry, and this is again here you can see administrator, you will start to work from here, administrator, user account maintenance. Okay, and here you can see marks entry operator, marks entry, and again you can see student info reports generated. Now there are different forms of the output you can get from this. Okay, mark sheet generated, you can generate the mark sheet. Student info reports generated, you can check the different reports as per the queries. Okay, as you will do some queries with the help of the database management system by using sometimes the SQL based commands. Then with the help of those SQL commands, you can here you can see student info reports you can generate. Okay, just you can generate that report. You can generate the mark sheet, student performance reports generated. So here you can get the output as per the query. Okay, no problem at all. So this is the various forms of the output, but there is only one output. But as per query, you can generate anything here. Okay, so you are going to elaborate here single output, but you can as per your query you can generate. Okay, suppose I want with the help of this result management, just I want to select only the topper student from this. Okay, then just we will do the query and can retrieve the data. Okay, from here. So I will get the top 5 students from this result management system. Okay, so there are basics here. You can see various forms of the input here. Just you are going to elaborate that how you are going to marks entry with the help of the entry operator. So here you can see again subject information and student information entry. So this is the administrator, user account maintenance. So as per the your RP unit, you can do any type of query. So it is based on the database management system. Okay, so you have here single output. Just you have this single output and just you are going to divide and have single bubble. Okay, so this is your project and process here. So you can see here, this is called the level 0 DFD of result management system. Okay, now you can see level 1 DFD or one level. So in one level DFD, a context diagram is decomposed into multiple bubbles or process. Okay. Here we have only one bubble. You can see this is the example for level 0 DFD. You have only one bubble. But here you can see in this diagram, here what is the level 1 DFD or one level DFD? So in one level DFD, a constant diagram decomposed into multiple bubbles or processes. It means we have more than one process, more than one circle. Okay, so that is called the one level DFD. So in 0 level, only one process. In one level, more than one process. Now you can see in this diagram here. Just go through this. Now we have here, this is our login system, user, administrator, user info entry, user account, here management system, user account information. This is the login system. Again, we can elaborate this login system by the administrator, and the login system also by the number of, you can say, the students. Okay, they can also access here. So student information management, this students subject choice management system. Here you are going to generation of the report. Okay. Now here marks information management. Now you can see again here the coordinator view report. So in this case you can see there are several, now the here circles. Okay, means the main circle, main process, just you are again elaborating that. Just you are elaborating your single process into several sub processes. So here you can see there is more than one here sub processes. You are going to divide those and elaborating, and here you have the multi facilities. Okay, you can do a number of queries, and here you are going to divide your process into number of sub processes. Even though here you can see only one process, student result management system. Here you can see there are several sub processes in the circles or the oval shaped here. You can see. So these are the various sub processes. Okay. Even though you can here also you can generate the report. Here you can see as per the requirement. Okay, you can do the queries, and also the student can access the user, different number of users can access this as a student, and there is also the coordinator view report. So this is a, and also here you can see administrator. So multi facilities here means the level 1 DFD of result management system, same result management system with more elaboration. Okay, more number of sub processes and multi facilities here. Now this is called the level 1 DFD of the same management system. That is the result management system. Okay, so there is only single process, and here you can see the multi processes or sub processes here. Now again come to the two level diagram. What is the two level diagram? Here you can see two level DFD goes one process deeper into parts of one level DFD. Okay, at the two level DFD, more complex. The complexity will enhance as you will move or proceed toward the more number of levels. Okay, so here I am giving you a number of examples with 0 to the 0 level, 1 level and 2 level. Okay, so 2 level, what is the 2 level? Just you can see here, this is the 1 level, and again we are going to elaborate. Suppose this is the student sub choice management. Okay, this is the student sub choice management. Again we can elaborate this circle at much deeper level. Okay, similarly we can again we will go inside this sub process. We can break this sub process into several again sub processes. It will act as a main process. Report generation, it will act as a main process, and we will go inside, we will we can elaborate more this. Okay. Similarly, we can go inside this sub process, that is the student sub choice management system. Again, we can elaborate this. Okay. In more clear way, we can divide this also. We can divide this also. Again, we can go inside this. Again, we can go inside this. So this is the one level, but whenever we will approach to the second level, then we will go inside into more number of parts of the first level DFD. So we can say it can be used to project or record the specific necessary detail about the system's functioning. Okay, because we are going inside, okay, more deeper, then the complexity will enhance, as well as we can say the quality also will grow up, will increase, will enhance, because we are going in more clear form. Here you can see user account. Here you can see the this system. Okay, here administrator access user info. Okay, now you can see administrator enter or update, delete user information. Just you have here two process, that is the label. This is the example of the level one. Okay, because we have more than one process, but our main project we are going to divide into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Okay, this is the level 1 diagram, but our project is divided into several numbers. So first is this number 1. Okay, this is the part of the our software. Okay, number 1 here you can see. So we are divided here into level 1. Again you can see the number 2. This is again the part of our software. We are here dividing as a login. Again, here you can see number 3, okay, number 4, number 5, number 6, and so on. Now you can see. So this is the two level DFD. This is the two level DFD, because first we are dividing our software into several level, one level DFD. Okay. Now this is one level DFD. Again, here this is the part of the same, our software. Again, this is the part of same. So here we are going to divide into several zero level and level 1. Now here you can see. Okay. So here this is the login system. Here the administrative or we can say the administrator login here. Access user info, display user account info, enter, update, delete user information. Here we are going to validate process user info. Again you can see user account information, retrieve user information, update or delete user information. So it is part of our software. Okay, it is part of our software. Now similarly you can see here the level 2 DFT of this process is given below. Okay, so this is the second part of the our project. Okay, this is not another example, but this is the second part of the same project. So here you can see the nomenclature. Now here we have the login system. So this is the elaboration form here. User account, retrieve user information. This is the main login. Here you can see the coordinator can also do this can log in, enter user ID, password. So this also have data entry operator. Here you can see here the data entry operator can also access this enter user ID password marks here entry clerk. So clerk will do the entry of the marks. Okay. So again he may have this enter user ID password role, and this is the main administrator. Okay. Administrator enter user ID password role. So this is one of the part of our software. Okay. So first we are, this is for the development of the user account. Okay. Here user can develop his account detail. Okay. He can see or validate the user information. So in the hand of the administrator, just he is going to create that. Now this is again the part. So various logins by the coordinator, data entry operator, or the user. Okay. And also have the connectivity. Everything is in the hand of the administrator. Now this is the, here you can see again. So this is student information. Here now you can see display student information, validate process student information. Okay. So data entry operator here also can validate the process or the student information. So this is one of the part, again part number 3 of your software. Okay. Now the here student can again retrieve the, is here retrieve student information, here the record. Okay. Update or delete user information. So this the data entry operator can do here. So and this is number 4, means the fourth part of your project. Now you can see this display student information, validate process or subject information. Okay. Now this is the level 2 DFT of this process is given below. So this is part number 4. Okay. Even though this is the level 1, but overall this is the level 2 because this is the fourth part of your software. So your software may have a number of parts. Okay. Now again number 5 here you can see. Okay. So the level 2 DFT again here you can see, because this is one of the part number 5. Here you can generate, say, you can see data also. You can validate this, display student details, display subject choices. Okay. So here we can access the data or the student record or display or the subject choices. We can see here or validate any type of data. So again the part of the software. Okay. So this is the subject choice management system. You can select this. Now number 6, marks information management. So this is the overall. Here you can see. So this is again the level 2 DFT, because this is again the part of your software. Okay, in continuation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so there are various parts of your software. Just you are going to divide. So this is called the level 2 DFD. Okay, you are going to divide the DFD into more number of parts, but they have the interface, they have the connectivity to each other. So there are several processes. Just you are going to divide so that you can manage easily into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is only for the management purpose, and this is one of the best example for the level 2 DFD. Okay, level 1 you have already seen, level 0 you have already seen, and this is the level 2 because you have more number of parts of a single software, of a single project. Okay, so this is the marks information management. Now this is the end about the DFD, data flow diagram. So Any question regarding this? Please tell me. So just I am taking one by one the contents of the unit number 2. So any question about this? Please tell me. Farhan? Yes, please. Any question?
उससे पहले हम डिजाइन करते हैं सॉफ्टवेयर पहले.
Pardon?